Animals that turn to people for help. It's not uncommon for domestic animals to protect their owners from harm, and many animals have gained the unwavering gratitude from their owners. But when you read of untamed animals who feel obliged to step in and save the day despite having little to no prior contact with people, it's simply amazing. Be prepared to be astounded by the tales of these wild animals that seemingly out of the blue intervened to save mankind from certain death. Hello everyone and welcome back to Unveiling Wild. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for the latest updates about the wild animals and their habitat. With that being said, let's get started. But when you read of untamed animals who feel obliged to step in and save the day despite having little to no prior contact with people, it's simply amazing. So, what will you do if you were trapped and an animal comes to your rescue? What was the shocking incident and how people responded to that? And a focus will be placed on tales in which the main characters are animals who have saved human lives. These heroes will be furry, fuzzy, shady, and shadowy, seeking neither glory nor acclaim. They will be vigilants, who act solely in the interest of being fair-minded and balanced in spirit. We've discovered fascinating tales and facts about the generosity that lives in the hearts of our animal friends by slithering through the deepest recesses of the internet like a snake. To rescue Lulu Cambodian Pig. A random pain struck Joan Altsman's chest, causing her to experience a cardiac arrest. Joan was alone at home and would have undoubtedly passed away if it weren't for her Vietnamese pig Lulu, who came to her aid. When the latter saw her mistress twisting in agony on the ground, she hurried out to the house and did not think twice to stop traffic by lying down on the road to draw attention so that someone might assist her mistress. She walked back home with the sole intention of keeping an eye on Joan, and after receiving a refusal as an answer, she persisted in trying to get help. She then hurried back to the street to call for help. Her efforts were not in vain, as some people eventually stopped and followed the Vietnamese pig until he arrived at the mistress, who was laying on the ground. Joan was fortunate to be with Lulu because without her, she wouldn't have survived the incident. The Good Samaritan called for assistance right away, ultimately saving her life. Lulu the Vietnamese pig is deserving of being included in our list of animals that have saved lives. The amazing gorilla parent Jambo. A silverback gorilla named Jambo lives at the Jersey Zoo. Jambo promptly rescued a toddler who had fallen into his pen by rubbing his back and reassuring him that everything would be all right. When the young boy woke up and started to cry, Jambo led his companions away so that the rescuers could step in. He didn't just move to be by his side to shield him from the aggression of his fellow companions. Congratulations, Jambo. You deserve to be listed among the animals that saved the most lives. 3 lion guardians. In 2012, a young African girl who refused to get married and was abducted by 7 guys and left for dead in the wilderness. The young woman was protected by 3 lions keeping guard, acting as they were guardian dogs, with the authorities finally located after a day of intensive searching. Because of the successful outcome, our 3 Savannah Kings felt as though their job had been accomplished as they departed. The Maternal Goat Mandy. Neil Obsorn, a lifelong farmer, starts of his day as usual and goes about his business until an unlucky mishap causes him to fall into a manure pile and shatter his lip. His goat Mandy took care of him for 5 days while he was immobile and too far away for anyone to hear his cries for assistance. She laid down on him and keep him warm, and even let Obsorn drink some of his milk to help him survive. Do you believe that this is one of the most incredible animals that have saved lives? Mila the Beluga who saves. In a beluga whale lagoon in China, Yang Yun was competing in a trivial apnea tournament. Up until she noticed that her legs were no longer responding to her, everything appeared to be going according to plan. Mila then suddenly appeared to save her, grabbing her leg with her jawbone and taking care of her by bringing her back to the surface so she could breathe. The personal bodyguard Lefty. When 4 determined robbers stormed into a home, they did not think twice to kill the owner of the property, who undoubtedly would have perished if Lefty hadn't placed himself on him to cushion the blow. Due to the ignorance of people, this shadow hero sustained a pretty bad injury and regrettably had to have one of his legs amputated. He saved his master from imminent demise, but he's still alive. Isn't it a touching tale of how animals rescued lives? Kabang, the heroic canine. By just following her instincts, Kabang was able to save the life of a little girl and the niece of her master when she pushed the pair into the path of an oncoming car. Kabang suffered quite severe wounds, but thanks to donations from all over the world, she had surgery and now is able to live happily with her master and the 2 people she's risked her life to save. William the watchful parrot. Hannah, a young toddler who was choking, was saved by William the watchful parrot, or Willie, as he's known in this small family. We'd go into depth about what happened, but we think it's more important to quote the babysitter's account instead. Willie began yelling and flapping his wings in a way I'd never heard before when I was in the bathroom. I became concerned and left when he cried out, "Mother baby." I then noticed Hannah, who had a blue face. Good idea, Willie. A lot of dolphins protect lifeguard and family from shark attack. At Ocean Beach, close to Whangarei, New Zealand, in the latter part of 2004, lifeguard Rob House and his family were swimming when 7 bottlenose dolphins arrived and herded them together. House remembered that they were acting quite strangely, turning tight in loops in our direction and slapping water with their tails. Before a dolphin swam directly at them and drove back down into the water in front of them, he and his daughter's friend Helen had drifted about 20 meters away from his daughter and had another friend. Howard said, "I turned in the water to see where it was going to come up, but instead I saw this numerous big gray fish swim around me, later identified as a great white shark. The object moved in an arc towards the other 2 goals. One of them was my daughter, which caused my heart to fall in my mouth. The dolphins were acting out violently. Deer chases away woman's attacker. A man tried to suffocate a woman with her purse straps while she was being pulled behind a building in Oxford, Ohio in February 2012. He appeared to be planning to rob her, if not worse, but these schemes were thwarted by a brave deer that emerged from a nearby thicket and scared him away." During his 17-year career, Sergeant John Willie, who helped the victim after the assault, claimed he couldn't recall a similar incident. Despite having bruises and red markings, the woman did not need hospital care. She also didn't misplace any of her possessions thanks to the unidentified deer's fast thinking. Beaver's confidence save orphaned boy. On a camping trip to Ontario, Canada, Real Goindon and his dad decided to go fishing. Real stayed on land, but he was horrified to see his parents tragically drown after their boat capsized. He tried to travel to the closest town to find assistance in a panic, but as the dusk fell, he realized he would have to spend the night outside. Traumatized by this experience, he was lying on the ground when he felt a warm, fuzzy body encircle him. He dozed off, thinking it was a dog. The following morning, when he awoke, he discovered 3 wild beavers curled up next to him. When the temperature dropped below 0 overnight, they prevented him from freezing to death. These amazing tales show that we have a lot more in common with non-human creatures and are far more dependent on them than we think, in contrast to some prevalent notions of wild animals as threats and pests that must be eliminated for human growth. They are also capable of compassion and selflessness. They have also been known to intervene and help others who are weaker than themselves in ways that humans frequently find it difficult to anticipate. They also have a right to an independent existence. So what are your views on this? Are these animals too dangerous for us, or are they our friends? Well, this brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed watching and do like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more insightful content from us. We'll see you at the next one. Until then, peace.